to make fun of him. Oh, this is a drop in the bucket. He's stupid for even doing that. Her time was important, shouldn't do this, blah, blah. But he made those little cuts because they were symbolic. Just like you go out in your home budget and you cut up energy, wood to burn, because every penny counts. Now, $8 million is a lot of money.
Well, to us.
But to the federal budget, that's $1.3 trillion over its budget. It's not all that much money. But those little things do add up. Okay? That's the first thing.
Well, I'm one of those people that I don't trust politicians, and
I do.
But I believe 120% that if there were some person to go in and look at every congressman or senator or whoever representative's budget and look at what they actually do, how they get around, what they eat, the things they spend money on, it's going to be astronomical.
Still, and that's one of the things Boehner's doing is he's cutting everybody's budget.
Yeah, and that's what, he should be. And there's so many organizations within our own government, not to name any names, but a certain branch of the military I happen to know a lot about. I found out that they would come home often and complain about the just rampant waste of funds that are being used to do things that were just totally irrational, or it made no sense to spend money doing these things.
Oh yeah.
For example, one of my roommates had to go to Hawaii for whatever he was doing, and they were gonna rent him cars to drive, him and his guys, his team, cars to drive around Hawaii. And he goes, "Why don't you all just let us use the cars that you have there?" They go, "Oh, great idea. We'll just do that instead." He goes, "That was $20,000 right there to save everybody."
What is it you don't
understand about sign off, and it was not going to be even an afterthought.
What is it they don't understand about that? See, one of the other problems is,
but it's like that with every single.
Yeah. But see, when these budgets go out, one of the things that happens in this country with different branches of our government, and with these congressmen and senators, they get an allowance of money to spend. It's easy to pick on the Department of Defense because all these bleeding heart, tree-hugging liberals want to get rid of the military. Listen, folks, we're not spending near what we used to on the military. I don't agree with everything the military spends their money on. The fact of the matter is, maybe we could get some more sophisticated weapons and cut out a few more rental cars and save that money. But when it comes to close to the end of their budget, you know what they do? They haven't spent money. They go out and they spend
crazy. I was going to touch on that as well. Because if not, then they go, "Well, you didn't use this much, so you're not going to get this. You're going to get this much."
They're scared they'll get cut if they don't spend it.
Exactly, and that's something that has to stop. I understand it's years are different from here, from here to the next. So you don't know what you're going to have to spend it on, but have a little bit in reserve. But it's
called a budget.
Yeah,
I think with some money built up.
They told me, they were kind of upset about. I believe they said Barack Obama had cut the Coast Guard's budget quite a bit, and I go, you know what? That's not the worst thing in the world, because now you guys are going to have to learn how to deal with what you got, as opposed to throwing around what you got, and because it's not coming out of your pocket. It's coming out of the taxpayer's pocket.
Yeah, but that leads to what I wanted to say, though. What I want to say is you've got to go in and you've got to make these fat cuts out. The pork that they do's got out, but you got to go in and look at budgets and see, because Barack Obama doesn't like the military, and he doesn't. He wants to cut all the fat out of there. But what's got to happen is that you can't be passing a program that 65% of the people in this country said they did not want. they got rid of and gave the Republicans a majority in the House and damn near a majority in the Senate. That'll happen in 2012. You can't say to the American people, which Barack Obama did, I'm going to do it whether you like it or not. It's for your own good. You're too stupid, Bill Maher says, to understand this is in your best interest.
So you're telling me the 8 years of Bush doing that was okay, but
I want you to give me the $1 trillion deal that Bush did, like Obamacare, that did that. No, you got to back that one up, because yes, Bush spent way too much money in stimulus, but not only do you have Obamacare, but General Motors should have been allowed to go under if they couldn't make a product. So we now own part of General Motors. How would you like to be that bondholder that got told to stuff it, and now they're issuing new bonds and they lost money?
Well, from what my understanding was that most of the money that was used to bail out the automotive industry hasn't been paid back.
No, it hasn't. He used other stimulus money to pay back. Of the $50 billion GM, and this is all written down, of the $50 billion GM borrowed, they still owe $40 billion. They took money from another stimulus package they got and paid something back, and the guy got on TV and said, oh, hey, guys, we paid our stimulus money back. No, they haven't. See, the liberal media will tell you they did because they're not giving you all the facts. But the fact is they still owe $40 billion. And this is the way it's working. There's two financial institutions that want to pay their money back, and Barack Obama wouldn't let them, because if they paid their money back, then he couldn't have control of them. And that's all verifiable, very verifiable. But you've got to come up with the Bush programs. Now, Barack Obama says that he was left with $1 trillion worth of debt from Bush. That's not true either. The numbers are all there. There was $700 billion that was paid back at the first of Obama's administration, and Bush left him $300 billion. Now, these are all verifiable facts, but see, it still doesn't help us answer the question.
All right. When you said that, when I said that Bush had these programs, and I was responding to when you said he was shoving them down people's throats, saying,
and what did he shove down the throat?
Patriot Act.
Patriot Act didn't spend that money.
No, but you didn't say spending money.
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about, spending money.
No, you're talking about,
Your assumption is Patriot Act's bad. The assumption isn't it's bad. It's bad in your mind. The fact of the matter is about 2/3 of Patriot Act is very much needed. And the third that wasn't, did it get shoved down the throat? A little bit, yeah. But let's limit this to what we're talking about, and that's how do you cut money out of a budget. First of all, you don't let a president push $1 trillion deficit bill through Congress. And you know how he got it through? He went to the 4 senators that he had to go to and promised to give them something for their vote. You got Louisiana, Arkansas. Oh gosh, I knew if I got into this I'd forget the other two. Those guys got special dispensations for their vote. Okay? That's how he pushed them through.
Now, that's how every president pushes through something.
But we can't let that happen. So, you get rid of you get rid of the stimulus plan for the clunkers. You get rid of the stimulus plan for Wall Street. You get rid of and see, Bush was wrong as well. He said the economy would collapse if we didn't give them money. Let it collapse.
Yeah.
Let it collapse. But you see, the first thing that's got to be done is you've got to get to the spending that is the big chunks. You got to do the little chunks, but you got to get to the big chunks. And you get, Bush spent a tremendous amount of money on the war. Now, whether you like the war in Afghanistan or Pakistan or Iran or wherever, isn't really the question. He spent a lot of money on it, but 3,000 people were killed on our soil. Now, did he need to go over and do what he did? I think yes. You may think no. But at the time it happened, he got almost 100% bipartisanship from both sides of the aisle, because American people, the problem with American people is we have a tendency to forget after a little while what happened.
Well, depending on, this goes off into a whole other thing, but depending on your views on what happened, and this is where I get called liberals because stuff like this, but my views on stuff like this, but I don't think we went after the right people.
Maybe not.
Most of the hijackers were from Saudi Arabia.
Well, they were from Saudi Arabia is not our friend.
And that's something
Saudi Arabia, see, but now I wish we're almost done, but we had more time, because you see, when you talk about this, Obama has pushed through a socialist agenda. Okay? Socialist agenda means just what it means, and that is he's for social programs, and it's just like in the unions. I make this point all the time. We're talking about it. The head of the AFL-CIO and these guys in SEIU, they are over in different countries that are socialist countries trying to put together a world union. And my simple question is to these guys that work at Ford and GE here in Louisville, when you get a world union to where you're making $50,000, $60,000 a year plus benefits and retirement plan, and your counterpart in Russia is making $10,000 a year with no plan, and you're going to be in a world union, do you think they're going to bring him up to 50? Are they going to bring you down to 10? So you can't have the kind of programs that causes this kind of financial problems. You got to go after them.
I'm not a big fan of unions, and I'm being forced to be in one, maybe another one.
Yeah. That's because you're going to be a star, and I'm going to retire on you. But I mean, so it's a great question. I wish we had a whole lot more time to talk about it, because we're sitting in a position to where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You're more conservative than you think you are.
Well, we didn't get into all the other stuff that you might think I'm liberal. We just got into one part of it.
There's a bunch of it out there.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of it out there.
We'll continue that conversation.
Yeah, you'll be a call-in. You'll be a call-in co-host on that one. Okay, that way you don't have to sit in the same room with me, right? But there's tough questions here, and if you're way over here on the right-hand side to where everybody's no good, you shouldn't give anybody anything, you lose your Christian heart then.
No.
And I don't think that's right.
I don't think anybody in this country knew where they were if somebody somewhere hadn't helped them out at some point or another.
Everybody has to have help. And
whether it be the lady who signed off for your driver's license when you were 16, or I don't know what it is now, 18 or 25.
Yeah.
Or,
I know you can drink legally now. That's all you care about, right?
Police officer let you go with that speeding ticket.
Go on Matt's Facebook. You'll find out what he cares about, right?
But, or the police officer let you go with a speeding ticket, because it was just a good day or whatever it may be. But people around you, people in your community, those are the people who make your life what it is. And you can't just say that, I'm not going to help out anybody anytime.
No.
I understand you want to give all your money.
But you can't. That's right. But you can't give the government 95% of what you make so that they can go out here and save 2 million Mexicans and give them housing, give them